With the HISS tank campaign complete and I guess going into production, and with a couple more vehicle announcements out there, the Air Chariot and the flight pods / trouble bubbles, I, like probably many of you, have been thinking a lot lately about what vehicles might be on the horizon. So I wanted to make this video just to speculate, I guess is the best word for it. What vehicle announcements might we see in the coming year? So right off the bat, I just want to do a quick rundown of what we have so far. So far, as we know, we have the first Ram cycle that came with Breaker, and we also have the COIL Bike that came with Baroness. Those are the only vehicles currently that we have in hand, so to speak. Now, next up, we have the Tiger Force version of the Ram cycle through Target, so who knows when we'll actually see that. I'm putting my money on about a year from now, but it would be nice if they proved me wrong and we could see more of these Tiger Force figures coming out a little more quickly, but maybe that's a story for another video. Anyhow, Tiger Force Ram cycle. And as everyone knows, we have the HISS tank coming up. So that brings us to a total of, between what we have in hand and announced, 4 Cobra vehicles and 2 G.I. Joe vehicles. So that's where we are now. Moving forward, I would expect that we would get a Python Patrol vehicle announcement. Now, I see that we do have a lot more Cobra vehicles right now than G.I. Joe vehicles, but I would expect to see a Python Patrol vehicle of some variety announced at some point in the next year, if nothing else, as a counterpart to the fact that the Tiger Force has a vehicle out. In terms of what I would expect to see as a Python Patrol vehicle, my money would be on a Cobra Ferret. Now, I've said this in a previous video. It hasn't come to fruition as of yet, but I just tend to think that that is the most straightforward small vehicle to go with at this point for that sub team. Now, we do have reason to believe that they might start moving into more medium-sized vehicles in the future. I don't know how soon we should expect to see something like that, but if they do start moving to more medium-sized vehicles within the next year, I could see a possibility of a Python Patrol ASP, but we'll see. I also feel like it's more likely that we'll have a regular paint deco, just the blue ASP. That would actually make more sense to me. But if I'm thinking about the various options for a Python Patrol vehicle, that could work. Okay. One more piece while I'm on this Cobra Python Patrol thing. So I also think it is possible that we could get something along the lines of the Cobra Night Landing. Now, my reason for thinking this is because it's a pretty small vehicle. I feel like it would be easy to manufacture. There's not a whole lot of moving parts there. And they seem like they are going in the direction of more kind of like special environments type things, with Torpedo coming out, Snow Job coming out. It stands to reason that we'll also see Cobra Eels pretty shortly down the line in the next year or so. Snow Serpent, stuff like that. Also with Copperhead coming out, and he was a boat pilot, and when I'm thinking of small easy to get out there Cobra watercraft, night landing's the easiest option. Now, would they do something like that in Python Patrol colors? I'm not sure. But to step back a little bit, my speculation for the Cobra side is I think we will see at least one more small vehicle announced in the next 12 months or so, aside from the Flight Pod and the Air Chariot. And my money would be on Ferret and or Night Landing moving forward. So at this point, the Joes only have 2 small vehicles out there. I would imagine that we will see a couple more announcements for Joe vehicles, more on the small side over the next year. And I'm going to jump right into it. I think the most likely option that we'll see would be a Polar Battle Bear. Reason being, it's not that much bigger in size than the COIL Bike. I don't know that it would necessarily come with Snow Job. That's a possibility. But I could see them packaging it with maybe somebody like Iceberg or Blizzard, even Frostbite maybe. And I feel like that just fits right into that size range, and it also fits into this idea of starting to move into more specialized units or specialized environment type motifs with the characters. Next, I think that it is likely, and this is moving more into the medium-sized vehicles, so I don't know if it would happen sooner or later, but I feel like it is likely that we will see a triple T. Now, my question here really isn't whether or not we'll get one. It is how we'll get it and whether or not it would be a regular painted, the kind of off-white grayish triple T, or if it would be done in Slaughter's Marauders colors to match up with that subline. My guess would be that we would hear something about triple T towards the end of 2023. Okay, this is my last speculation for small to medium-sized vehicles. I believe we will get something for the G.I. Joe team that isn't necessarily a vehicle, but something more along the lines of the jump, or some kind of jetpack, or some kind of small flying device. And I'm really leaning towards some kind of jetpack. So I feel like jump would be a good choice, as it comes with the platform. It gives a jetpack for your figure to fly around in, and it's small, so it's something that could get out to market, and it gives some kind of good like counterbalance in a display with all these flight pods and air chariots that are going to be out there. It would be nice for the Joes to have somebody up in the sky as well, to my way of thinking. And just by process of elimination, I think that jump or some other kind of variety of jetpack would be the best way to go here for the short term. Now, down the road, I think there are other options to get the Joes skybound, but I think in the next 12 months or so, we should expect something more along the lines of jump or some kind of other jetpack. Also, I think it is possible, but not likely at this point, to get something along the lines of HAL or FLAC or SMS or something like that. Which leads me to the next big thing. So with the success of the HISS tank, I think it should be obvious that the G.I. Joe Classified team will do another Hazlab. I think that it is likely to occur, sometime in 2023, and I think it is likely that it'll be a vehicle for the G.I. Joe side. I don't want to go any deeper into it in this video because I feel like I could make a whole other video about that bit of speculation. But I do believe that in 2023 we'll have a G.I. Joe Hazlab rather than Cobra to go along with the other small medium vehicle releases. So to recap, I'm saying, or I speculate, that over the next year we will see a small to maybe medium-sized Cobra vehicle, and it would likely either be Ferret or Cobra Night Landing, and if it's medium-sized, maybe Python Patrol ASP or something like that, but I'm really leaning towards Ferret on this one. Next, I believe that we will get a Polar Battle Bear. I think that is definitely likely. I also think that we'll see some kind of Jetpack or other small, maybe not quite a vehicle, but something that'll work with your display, like a jump or maybe even a missile system. And also, last piece, Hazlab 2023 will be a Joe vehicle, not Cobra, not Thunder Machine, nothing like that. It would be something for the Joe team. And the other little side note, I guess, is that I speculate that the next, or rather the first medium-sized vehicles we'll see will likely be the Triple T and an ASP. Whether or not they're Slaughter's Marauders and Python Patrol colors or the standard paint schemes, I think that's a good question. Okay, tell me what you think, everybody, in the comments. With that, I'm out of here.